You got me. You got me.
Hi everyone, I'm Leslie with Pipeline Social Media. Welcome to Pipeline Live, where we take 15 minutes to tackle your digital marketing questions so you can better market your business. Today we have Thomas Henderson,
Hello.
our lead sales rep, and he's here today to talk to you about social media ROI, trends, and things you need to know before starting a social media campaign.
That's right.
Yes. So if you have a question for Thomas, please comment below. We'd love to answer that during our time together. And Thomas, are you ready to get started?
Leslie, I was born ready.
Great. Our first question is, why should I use social media to market my business?
That's a great question. And then that's the cornerstone question, right? And that's what we're here to address today. So, for my money, it's where people's attention is. It's where people are going. It's what they're doing. It's where they're putting their eyes. So, huge opportunity for you to put your business in front of them. That's number one to me. Just give you some quick stats. Facebook, 1.37 billion daily active users. That's worldwide now, but the North American market's a very big part of that. They're the third most recognizable name in the tech industry. I mean, come on, you got to get behind that. Whether you have an account or not, you know who Facebook is. Instagram, another one. They got 500 million daily active users. That's huge. So big opportunities there. It's where people's attention is. That's the number one reason. Another big reason, it's mobile. So we talked about how important mobile friendliness and responsiveness is with the websites. Same thing
on their phones all day.
All day long. It's where people go to get information. So it's mobile. They can access it from a mobility standpoint, which means you can be right there in front of their face whenever they decide to get on there and look. And people are going to do that.
Yeah. Billboard on their cell phone.
On their cell phone. That's exactly right, Leslie. It's cost effective. So I don't have to spend an overwhelmingly amount of money to make this stuff work for me. I can say, oh, I want to spend this X amount, carve out a budget that makes sense for you and for your business, and then be wise about how you spend that. But it's very cost effective because what you can get on the other end is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's another big part of this to me. It provides the ability to establish community with your customer base, with your consumer base. That's huge. That allows you to do a lot of different things in terms of how you provide your message, what you can say back to them. You can't do that with a lot of other mediums.
It's a controlled environment as well.
That's exactly right.
Controlled PR.
That's exactly right. And that's the next point that I was going to make is you have some reputation management that you can put under that umbrella where I can help navigate a difficult situation or something that may seem negative aimed towards me. I can help navigate that by responding to that situation and just seeing what people are saying about my brand.
Yeah.
And I can get out in front of some things and really take advantage of that space, both from a positive and a negative standpoint. So that's huge. You can't do that everywhere. Social media, it exists, it's there. And then the number one reason, the reason why you do any kind of marketing is return on investment. Your return on investment with social media is honestly, it's a no-brainer. It's just all about how do you do it? Do you do it correctly? If you can do that correctly, your return's going to be very impactful in a positive way. So it can be calculated, which means you can assess it. You can use a lot of really good metrics behind it to figure out, okay, I spend this much, I can expect to get this. This is what I can expect to get in return. So, yeah, that's my answer to question number one.
It's a good answer. Our next question is, what are some important social media trends that businesses need to be aware of in order to take advantage of the space?
Yeah, great question. Very, very pivotal to understand what you want to do here trend-wise on what's going to be successful. This is key to building implementation. Number one thing I'm going to say is video content. And that's not, for some of you, that may be a revelation. To the industry, it's not. But just understand and know that video content is huge. You're getting more than 5 times the engagement with a video, whether it's highly produced or it's just kind of raw and
like we're doing today.
Exactly. You're going to get really great engagement out of that, 5 times more. So good examples of that, like you just said, what we're doing today. Facebook live stream, tremendous success. People love it. Instagram stories, those things have blown up, and you can do some really unique ad pieces with that. So really use video content. That space is created for that. It's opened the way for that. use that to your advantage. I would start there, and I would piggyback off of that and say the second trend to be aware of is the storytelling piece that social media provides. The research bears out that people, they don't always like the buy now, grab this, get this, that. They like the storytelling. They want to engage with you.
Sell.
Yes, soft sell. They want to engage with you on a deeper level. So provide that vicarious experience for them with your brand where, yeah, it may take a little bit longer to win their business, but you do it the right way, you win their business for life in a lot of situations. So the space exists for that. That's what it's there for. That's what people are going to connect with and engage with. That's how they're going to remember you.
And the why behind what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's the heart of the issue,
Yes.
the emotional element.
Absolutely.
So that's a great piece.
Yes, if you can connect with people on that level, man, you're going to win them over.
Yeah, for sure.
We mentioned earlier, Facebook, third most recognizable name in the tech industry, and the only two ahead of them, if you care to guess or know, is Google, duh, and then Amazon, duh, and it's only by like 2 or 3%. So tied with Apple at 93%, Facebook is right there. So it's huge. I mean, that right there tells me, okay, I need to find a way to get in front of that community.
Absolutely.
So really important, that's a trend. Facebook's trending up. Obviously Instagram is as well, but social media in general trending up. So get out there on it. Augmented reality or VR, virtual reality. It is coming soon to social media. It may even be out there a little bit in a few ways. It's real big on gaming platforms, but the next shift for them is social media. And it's coming soon, and Facebook is creating space for that called Facebook Spaces. So, yeah, keep an eye on that, see what that does. It may do really well. It may fall flat on its face, but it's an important trend to just have in the back of your mind and think about, is it worth me building some content pieces that play to this space?
Yes. More people just on because of that piece.
Absolutely.
Will just be great.
Another one is influencer marketing. So, quick example of influencer marketing. I'm a business. I have a product. Leslie is wildly popular. We all know that.
This is not true.
She's got a zillion followers. And I say, okay, a great way for me to connect people to my brand is to use her follower base that she's created, get my product in her hand, get her endorsing it, showing it off, all that great stuff, create the connection with her, and then that's going to let her help create a connection with her audience and draw them to me. That's a big trend.
Powerful.
It is, yes.
Because it comes across as very authentic.
Absolutely.
And it's best if it is, but
you're absolutely right.
Powerful.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Creating that authenticity, that credibility with your brand, extremely important.
Great. Our next question is, how do I know if social media is a good investment of my marketing dollars and time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what you want to know, right? If I put this in, what am I going to get back? And that needs to be positive. That's ROI. That's what we're talking about, return on investment. And the fact of the matter is, anybody who's got any kind of purchasing power at any level in a business, they're a decision maker. That thought is on their mind all the time. ROI. So this space creates a lot of really great ways for you to generate some positive ROI, and we touched on a few of those. But I would say, to that end, using the analytics that are available to you to be able to measure things and get some really solid metrics on that give you some good insight, some good intel into making these decisions. We're talking about reach. We're talking about impressions. Talking about engagement. Engagement equals likes, shares, clicks.
Viralness.
Virility. That's exactly right. And what you want to do, what all those things are, is there's steps to conversion. Conversion's the bottom line. That's what we're talking about here. So, how do you know if your business is a good investment of that? It's just carving out some strategies, looking at what's taking the information that's available to you to really make some well-informed decisions in that regard. I think one of the biggest disconnects or hesitations business owners have, especially on a local business level with this stuff, is the lack of measurables or in marketing in general, the lack of being able to measure things or the lack of understanding how they're measured. Social media makes that very easy.
Yeah. And you've mentioned that social media is one of the least expensive forms of marketing.
Right.
So how much would a business need to spend just to get some new eyes on their brand?
Yeah, great follow-up question here. It really depends on how big you are and how what exactly you want to do. But to be honest with you,
local, regional, national, it depends on that. I'm
exactly. But having said that, you can talk about the cost effectiveness now. You can make $100 or $150 go a long way on a platform like Facebook by doing boosted posts, like campaigns or page promotion campaigns, and then of course your clicks to website. Now you need a solid website in order for this stuff to really help you capitalize on the benefit of it. But yes, the conversion piece. But that's the area where you're going to be able to use those measurables and say, yep, this is good for my business. This is a good fit. Yeah, absolutely.
And so how do I know if social media is a good fit for my business?
So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is my opinion, but I think with some of the information we gave and question number 1 really points to this. It's essential for all businesses. The beauty of this is social media provides such a unique way of interacting and engaging people. So the platform has a really unique opportunity, several unique opportunities built into the framework. The key is figuring out what's the most advantageous way for me to prop my business or my brand up in these areas. I would ask, as a business owner, I'd ask myself 3 real simple questions. Does my business have a story? Do I have a story to tell with my business? Do you sell a product or a service? Do you have something that in some way, shape, or form is tangible to your customer? And then, do you have an audience to sell it to? Well, given how many users are out there on this thing, the question to answer that question is yes. If the answer to all 3 of those questions is yes, then social media is a really good fit for your business, and you need to be on there.
Yeah. And what if my business is more B2B, business to business versus business to consumer?
Absolutely. So business to consumer, it seems if you just give it half a thought, it's a no-brainer. B2B, a little more tricky, but there's still a place for it, a significant place for it. We could talk about things like LinkedIn, and creating business profiles and putting some money behind that. It probably costs a little more to do that with LinkedIn just because it's not as big of a platform as Facebook is.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is there's so many people out there on Facebook, out there on Instagram, that there's a good chance business owners or people high up who are making decisions in companies are on these social media channels, and you can put your information in front of them. It's all about figuring out who your audience is and what's the best way to get my information in front of them, and social media is just it.
Yeah, and LinkedIn is really granular. I mean, you can target people who work at specific places in certain metro areas and with certain job titles.
Absolutely.
So that may be the key piece.
You're absolutely
for a lot
right
of
about that.
businesses. Well, great. Well, I think let's go to a speed round.
Okay.
If someone has not had success on social media, what would you recommend them doing in the future?
So I would say, if at first you don't succeed,
Try again.
Try and try again. Don't give up on this. It's just too big of an opportunity. It's too big of a space. There's some really good, we talk a lot about Facebook. We talk a lot about Instagram. They're the industry leaders. And they're that for a reason. But it's too big of a space, and they've got too many users for you to not take advantage of it. So the key is to developing some consistent strategies. Here's what I mean by that. Branding posts, you taught me this. Branding posts with logos, with graphics that match the identity of your company, so that when people see it over and over again, they don't even have to know. They can see it in their feed. Oh, that's from Pipeline, or that's from whatever, Reese's. Insert company name here. That's a really, really big part of this that we're talking about. So developing strategies and then being consistent with those strategies. So you don't have to post 100 times or 10 times a day or even 10 times a week. It's just finding maybe 2 to 3 or 4 is your range. per week, and that's what you can give your time to. It's important for you to carve out that time and do it in a strategic manner. Targeting your market as well. Sit down as a business owner and say, who's my audience here? Draw that on paper, and then find a way to get your stuff in front of them through social media.
Well, that's great, Thomas. I think we're all out of time today, but be sure to stay connected with us on social media to learn about our next Pipeline Live. And be sure to check out our blog tab on our website at pipelinesocialmedia.com. See you next time.
See ya.